Welcome, folks, to class. We're having our closeout of 2022 celebration. I'm going to celebrate with my favorite poses, just everyday poses. Any one of these that we do today, down the list, just pick one as something you might consider for just a little everyday experience. Come to a seated position at the edge of a blanket or a cushion. And find those sits bones at the base of the spine, either side of the tailbone, that anchor holding us with that gravity to earth, and just feel that sense of connection. As you also notice the pelvis tilting slightly forward, so you feel your beautiful curve of the low back. Feel free to take the hands to the low back if they need a little extra love. And then feel that warmth and that curve. Then place the hands on the thighs and feel yourself a bit taller as we make space for those vertebrae in the spine in our alignment practice. Shoulder blades rolling down the back, shoulders rolling away from the ears, in line with the ears and the crown of the head, upward, connecting with that white light shining above the crown of the head, connecting us to each other and to all of our elements around us. Inhale, exhale, close the eyes to come into an inward space, noticing the breath. Noticing how the breath travels through the body. And noticing our place, our physicality in space. So feel the elements around you, the air, the sounds, the temperature, the ground beneath you. Feel that rhythm and feel your breath echoing that rhythm. And let's notice as well the beautiful structure that we have inside that skeleton. So just shape that skeleton with your mind's eye, feeling that structure that holds us, well, the structure that is beneath us inside, surrounded by all the structures that support us, holding ourselves up. Let's do a 3-part breath into the belly, the ribs, all the way up to the chest. And then exhale, counting that 3 out. Feel free to count that to a 4 if you'd wish to lengthen your exhale. 2 more rounds of this 3-part breath, getting to know your rhythm. And another. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then feel the warmth of your hands. With your eyes closed, just have the hands find each other and rub them so they get a little warmer. Still past our dark time of year in the north, so let's warm things up a bit. Take that warmth and cup the hands over your eyes. Feel the warmth that's radiating inward. Rub the hands again. Place them over your ears. Release, and then allow the hands to float up on towards the sky. See if you can use the muscles of the side of your body to reach up, and then find a prayer position above your head, hovering in that space, that ether above us. And then we'll turn over towards the right knee, just feeling a gentle twist here around that vertical axis of the spine, that structure. And then we'll take it to the left. And you can open the eyes. I probably didn't say that. And then let's continue this twist. But as you continue the twist, let's allow that prayer position to float down towards the heart, tracing that center line. So we're aware of it when we move. into our twists. Exhaling and inhaling. And then as we land at the heart, come forward. Pressing the hands together, noticing when you press them together, the shoulders engage. We get that support system behind us. The bigger muscles activate. Inhale. Exhale. And then drop the hands. So we're going to begin by unrounding the back, one of my favorites, with the rolled blanket. I am going to demonstrate and then I'll sit up. I'm having some sinus issues, so I'm going to not put my head down for very long, but I encourage you to try this to unround the back. So roll your blanket, however you'd like to have that, at the top of the mat, 3/4 of the way up the mat. I like to put it up somewhat high these days because I get more flexibility, but if you want to put it lower, please do that. Just make sure that as you take your support behind you, the feet at the base of the mat, and the hands behind you, you support yourself as you come down and curl the spine down so that the tips of the shoulder blades are on the blanket. Your hands hold behind your head. Feel free to find another cushion for your head if you'd like, and just press the feet down and towards the bottom of the mat and lift up towards the top of the mat, and then allow the head to come down and rest on the mat or on a cushion. If you don't like that much flexion in your neck, you can take the blanket lower. Customize is the word. So this is a bit extreme what you're seeing here. So make sure you adjust to the height you want. But you want to make sure that the shoulder sockets are rolling off of the mat and that you feel that lift in the heart, and you can drape those arms out into wingspan around you, nice and long, or you can take them to cactus. But whatever position allows you to settle in, to release and have the muscles accept that opening in the chest and the collarbones. And of course, bright light for the heart, shining upward. If you found your comfort zone, bask in it for a moment. Find that breath, the 3-part breath. Inhale into the belly, and then the chest, and all the way up to the shoulders, giving yourself this internal massage. 3-part breath, something I recommend every day to give. Really, you are massaging those breathing muscles inside the diaphragm, and then all of the accessories in the chest, and then all the way up to the shoulders, and exhaling. Amazing self-care. Another few breaths here. Longer exhale, allowing a bit more melting down of the shoulders towards the earth. Imagine if you had hands on those shoulders, another person just helping those shoulders down and settling and feeling the warmth of the earth beneath you. Unhunching ourselves. Feel free to set an intention for your practice or how you'd like to leave the mat today. Another celebratory breath here, feeling the warmth. And then to come out of this, you simply roll onto a side, lift up slightly, move the blanket aside, and we're going to go back onto our back. Feet on the floor, feet, knees hip width apart. As we strengthen and warm our core, take the arms to next to the body. So notice that you've created this opening across the heart, and then your shoulders are just going to more easily drop down towards the mat. And you're going to feel those feet on the floor. So our skeletal landmarks here, those feet bones, so you can feel your toes, spreading them out. And then your sacrum on the mat is that balancing point. It's a triangle naturally pointing towards the heels. And then you feel the lift of the low back off of the mat. And then the back of the ribs and the back of the shoulder blades and the back of the shoulders on the mat. So we've got those, and the back of the skull. Touch points down onto the earth for us to feel that connection. Now, we're going to take that pelvic tilt. So we're going to take the navel and press it towards the mat. And we'll feel the lift of the pubic bone up towards the sky. And then inhale, and we'll lift the navel up towards the sky and then down. So we're curling the spine, activating the lower core to support our posture and our strength. So inhale as the navel goes up, exhale as you push the navel towards the floor. So it's a subtle tilt here. But again, another great everyday pose to and activity to get that strength warmed up and activated at your base. Notice if you inhale as the navel comes up, you'll feel that expansion in the diaphragm with your 3-part breath. And then as you exhale, you'll notice that navel goes down and you can squeeze the air out. So this also supports the breath and vice versa. Gentle rocking here. And then find that neutral spine again. And we'll inhale a right knee towards the chest. Place that down and get that left knee towards the chest. And repeat with the breath. Giving a hug here, allowing the spine to curl. And then take the feet to the floor. So this is time for a prop. If you have a strap nearby, just feel free to roll over and get that strap. My other favorite to start with is getting those hamstrings stretched. Just before we go into any other strengtheners, inhale the right knee towards the chest, take the strap around the ball of the right foot. And we'll find that angle. Take it at a diagonal to begin with. So we just take a little tour here in the beginning of practice, noticing our leg tightness or flexibility. Hold that, just holding the reins of the strap. And then try guiding the right heel towards the left hip. And just notice there, the sensation here. Dropping the gravity into the right hip. Using your 3-part breath to feel the release. So the minute you get into that deeper exhale, you'll notice that lower body response. A little more open. Let's take it back to the neutral place of the leg. So just the toes pointing towards the head. And then we'll just open it out to the side just slightly. We're not going to take that full tour today in the beginning of practice, but just take that strap out towards the right. So you're a slight V with that right leg. Relaxing the shoulders. And then come on back, tour it back to center. And just feeling that release, very slight suggestion here to release the hamstrings. Let's bend that knee and release, and we'll take the left knee towards the chest and strap on that ball of the left foot. And we'll come on up to that straight leg. Just noticing where you're at with your hamstrings. Take a few breaths here. The deeper you send that inhale, the more it will travel down to that hip. And perhaps the exhale leads to some dropping down towards the hip and adding fluidity to the hip. Then we're going to take the left heel across to the right hip. This diagonal, really waking up another hamstring. One more breath here. And then let's travel past the middle and make a slight V shape with that left leg out towards the left. Before moving around, before exercising, I just love to get these hamstrings a little more awake. It really helps the low back strain in our activities. And let's come back to center, release that leg. And then we'll take the strap over to the side, take the feet to the floor, knees hip width apart. We're going to slide the right heel down towards the bottom of the mat, straighten out that leg, take the arms next to you, feel that sense of grounding down the entire arm. And then lift that right leg up in the air towards the left knee, just balancing that out. So we're strengthening our quads here. Inhale as the toes go towards the sky and exhale as it comes down. Make sure you don't lock that knee. You feel an engagement of your quads lifting towards the hips. You should feel this in your quads. This should not feel strain in the knee. If you have any strain in that knee, just micro bend that leg a little bit, pressing the arms into the floor, adding more anchoring will help engage the entire body here. So that when we do any other kind of walking, kicking, rotating, it's that much smoother. Bend the right knee, bring the foot to the floor. Let's take it to the other side. Left heel to the bottom of the mat, lift the straight left leg up and down. Match the movement with your breath. Couple more of these. And then take the left foot to the floor, bend the knee, find that evenness. The tips of the fingers find the back of the heels. And then pressing those arms into the floor, we're going to lift the hips up towards the sky, bridging, creating a bridge to the new year ahead of us. Let's press through the feet. Imagine a block between the thighs, so we're strengthening there, bringing ourselves into the center line. Press the elbows into the mat and the fingertips up towards the sky. Notice that the sternum comes closer to the chin. Elbows to the floor, bring it down. And then again, lift up. And let it head. And again, find the breath. One more time. Pressing through the feet, noticing the quads engage and the glutes. Excellent. Bring your knees together, the feet wide apart. We'll just take a little windshield wiper with the legs so the knee on the right traces the left shin towards the foot. Notice the opening on the right thigh there, side of the thigh. Trace it back up to the left knee traces down towards the right foot. So the IT band along the side of the thigh, this is a great opener for that. Low back issues. I find this one to be just lovely every day. Relief. Excellent. Let's take those legs long on the mat and we're going to roll over onto our belly and do this curl here too. Take the forehead to the mat and take the hands next to the shoulders. Take the tops of the feet. So if you have those lovely toenails, let's take those to the floor as well. So really spread the toes. Find that connection in the tops of the feet to the floor. And when you press there, you'll find that warmth travels up the legs towards the glutes. And when you try to point that tailbone towards the heels, there you go, wake up the glutes. Take the hands and pull back. Take your elbows to the ribs. Pull back towards the heels and you'll notice that traction effect on the spine. And you're naturally going to float the head up into a baby cobra. So we're going to lift the head off the mat, curl up, being safe with that low back by pointing the tailbone down. Exhale down. Really release a long exhale here. And then curl up again. And then again. Take the forehead down, just rock the third eye. So we'll take it side to side, rolling the forehead side to side, massaging our forehead. And then we'll take the arms next to the ears, reach up above the head. And we're going to take a cobra here as we come back to cactus arms on the lift. So inhale the head off the mat and bring the arms towards the ribs, towards cactus arms, and then down. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. And then inhale up. Exhale, reach. Take the forehead down. Rock the hips side to side. And then take the hands next to you. Support yourself as we come toward a seated position. Take that blanket and we're coming back to your favorite seated position. So whether it's kneeling or cross-legged, find your cushion and find our sits bone anchor again. Can't forget necks, neck stretches. Love them every single day. Changed my life. So let's take the fingertips to the side of the mat. Thumbs forward, fingertips back. So you can really feel that across the collarbones there. Inhale, exhale. Let's turn our heads over towards the right. Noticing when we have that beautiful posture, it supports the neck. And then we'll trace it back through center over towards the left. Come back through center, look up at our cloudy skies. And then back trace the chin down towards the jugular notch, looking at our hearts, polishing up that shine of the heart, lifting it up. And then we'll look up again. Now let's look over to the right again. Exhale. We're going to dip the chin towards the right shoulder. And just feel that reach as you press through the left fingertips. Trace the line across the collarbone towards the middle. Find the middle and lift up. Look up. And then neutral. Trace the line over to the left. Pressing through your right fingertips. We're going to exhale the chin to as far as you can go towards that left shoulder. And then trace that line in again. Ending up looking at our amazing hearts and then lift up. Look at the sky. And then look forward. Oh, we've got more flexibility in the neck to explore. Inhale, height to the crown of the head. Exhale, right ear toward right shoulder. Press through your left fingertips here. And let's bring our breath with us. So we're going to inhale into the belly. As we do that, we're going to lift the left ear towards the sky. And as you exhale, feel the right ear just gently drop a little bit more. Take your right hand to the right ear and lift that head up. Exhale naturally to the other side. Notice the length you're creating in that trapezius, supporting our shoulders and neck. So important. Inhale again, allowing a lift with your right ear towards the sky, and then it'll naturally drop a little bit more on the exhale. No force. This is a softening pose. Take the left hand to left ear to create that lift on up. Ah, that's some freedom. Lift the arms up towards the sky, palms forward, and then we'll take ourselves to cactus arms. Favorite here. Thumbs behind you, pinkies up. And then we'll create more expansion. And then we'll take the fingers up towards the sky again. Bring the pinkies together in front of you. Forearms press together. So feel that press. Make sure to activate. And then look at your elbow creases as you lift up towards the sky. Separate the arms like a curtain and come out. Open to cactus. Then bring the elbows to the ribs and then forward. In our gentle opening here, lift up, repeat. And on a daily basis, we're coming back to the ribs. You can do this as many times as you'd like. Bringing happiness to our shoulders. One more time. And then as you come down, we'll travel to our shoulders with our fingertips, elbows out to the side. And just make circles with the elbows behind you. And then forward. And then coming to stillness here, let's take a twist towards the right, towards the left, remembering that long line of the spine, keeping that base nice and solid. Oh, goodness, that feels very nice to twist it out. Okay, come on back and we'll transition to our tabletop. Take that blanket, cushion the shins. The magic trick of my 2022 is to allow the kneecaps to spill over that blanket at the front. So you're anchoring through your shins, keeping your knees safe. Take the wrists below the shoulders, the knees below the hips, as our strong base that we've created so much stability this year, I think, in ourselves here with our strengthening of the core. So let's take the rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine your favorite magazine, toting that under your armpit and just squeeze down on both arms. There you go. So you feel those shoulders activate. Let's take a cat-cow before we start our strengthener. Inhale, drop the tailbone and allow that arcing of the spine, bone by bone, up towards the sky, and then drop the head looking at the knees. Allowing some traction in the neck here. And then up, back up into cow. Make this gradual. And then come on back to neutral. Here's my favorite every day. We're going to curl the toes under on the right, lengthening the right leg. And then finding squaring off of our hips. So let's even out those hips, balance a cup of tea on the sacrum, and lift the right leg off the floor. Find a long line there. You can place the left hand and just see if those hips are even. Just feel there, your shape. Make sure they stay even. As you lift the left arm next to the left ear, creating a beautiful diagonal line from this left hand to the right foot. Hold steady. As you exhale, feel that magnetizing towards your horizontal line in the middle. And then float on down. Find your base strong there. If you need to go on the fists, if this hurt your wrists, you can use your fists on the mat. Left toes back, curl under. Find your balance and then lift the left leg off the floor. Feel free to check those hips. Inhale the right arm next to right ear. Exhale down. Repeat. Find the breath to lift you up. And find that exhale to anchor you down. Other side. Many practitioners recommend this as an everyday strengthener, full body stretch, full body strengthener. Keep going. Bird dog. Find your base again. And we'll take puppy pose here. So keeping the thighs 90 degrees to the mat, just reach the arms out, forehead finds the mat. And just reach the arms long if you can. You can keep them forearms on the mat, that's fine. Take the forehead down. Feel that length of the spine. Inhale into the back body. Exhale, come on up, walk the hands back. And we'll take a low lunge. So we're going to bring the right foot forward. Feel free to help it forward. We're doing gentle yoga, so do whatever you want to get that there. Just take a low lunge here. Keeping that knee back, that shin back on the floor, that's fine. Just feel the fingertips on the floor, on the mat, and pull them back towards the heels, towards the back of the mat. See if you can lengthen over as you hinge at your right hip. Just opening that hip a little bit there. Press through your back foot and feel the length that you create up that left leg. So we're really stretching our thigh here in the back. Inhale. Our exhale, bring that foot back to our tabletop. Sorry, our right knee comes down. And then we're going to inhale the left foot forward. So do what it takes to get it up there. Hinging at the left hip. Top of that back foot, and our shin stays on the floor. When we press there, we're going to get that length. And when we take our fingertips down towards the bottom of the mat, create that space. Our low lunge. And we'll bring that foot back, the left foot back, back knee, back to our tabletop. And we're going to take curl our toes under and then allow ourselves to stand through a down dog. So press those hands into the mat, find the down dog. And we've got a little more opening through our hamstrings, so feel free to bend the knees and bringing the ribs towards the thighs and then the heels down towards the mat. As you ease the strain in the neck, don't hold on, release that strain in the neck and just relax the face. If you got that blanket there, you're probably going to want to walk the hands to the feet instead of that vice versa. So let's walk the hand and on our way, move that blanket aside. See if we can find hip width apart with our feet, spreading the toes, maximizing that foot surface. Keep the ribs on the thighs here for a moment and take the arms up towards the sky behind you and then sweep the hands down to the mat and then sweep the arms next to the ears. Take those ribs off the thighs. We're going to come up through our chair pose, celebrating our strength that we've built. And then stand strong through the feet. Arms down. Find mountain pose here. Our vertical axis. That great image of the plumb line coming through the crown of the head. Tracing that line down to the center of our center. Great job. So let's take our strap and we're going to get longer. Take that strap, find the middle of the mat. And if you don't have a strap, it's not required. Just follow along without it. Take the strap in front of you. Find that width of arms that's good for you, and then lift above the head and really find that length through the side bodies. I'll stand back here and we're going to just lean over towards our right, supporting that tension between the hands, and then towards the left. And back and forth here. It just feels like, to me, sometimes you just cannot have enough side bends. They really help with just that lengthening and reminder to the body to keep it long and lifted. Okay, you can take the hands, keep them at that height, take that strap up high above the head and then behind you a little bit and then in front of you. So we're flossing those shoulder blades. I have flossing the shoulder sockets as we come forward and back. Try to find the tension that's good for you. You can take it narrower with your hands or customize. You can take it wider, whatever works for you. But that gentle motion of repeating gives us a little flexibility. If you've had shoulder surgeries or anything like this, keep this mild. Don't go extreme. This is not an extreme sport. Excellent. And then we'll place that strap to the side. Let's do a little more nerve flossing here as we open our arms out into our full wingspan. Take the right hand, press it against an imaginary wall, and then gaze over your left fingertips. As you gaze over the left fingertips, see if you can slide that right hand along that imaginary wall behind you. Feel that all the way to the fingertips and the thumbs, a little buzz there. Inhale. Exhale, slide the hand back, look forward, back to T-arms, and we'll press the left hand into that imaginary wall. Look over your right shoulder, over the right fingertips, pressing that left hand into the wall, holding it there, or maybe sliding it back behind you. Notice the nerves waking up there. All of our typing muscles. Slide them back forward with that left hand. Find the T-arms again, reach up towards the sky. Let's invite some positive energy between our hands looking up. Beautiful, clear ball of glittery, lovely, sparkly energy for our new year. And then prayer position down to the heart. Let's come to the top of the mat. We're going to shift our balance here a little bit. So let's take our feet hip width apart. One of my favorites is a simple leg lift. So we're going to start in mountain, find the square hips, lift the left knee up, bend the left knee into a right angle. And just find your balance here. Find the equanimity between the hips. Feel those right glutes engage, lifting that right quad. So we support the tower on the right side. Hold out the arms in our long arms, wingspan. And we'll take a slight twist towards the left knee, but just with the ribs and the top of the spine. And then back again. And then trace that line in the sand with your left toes forward and then back to mountain. And then we're going to shift the weight to that left foot, lift into a warrior 3 with our right leg off the mat. So we're going to sweep the right foot back, trace that line behind you. Find the balancing stick here. So you're just a long line from the crown of the head to the back foot, to the right foot. Open up into wingspan, fly forward. As you build the tower on the left, so you want to lift the quads and feel the glutes engage on the left, as well as you tilt forward as much tilt as you'd like here. If you falter, as I just did, just come on back, find the center again. Really on the exhale, see if you can magnetize into that spinal center. And then come on back up, just playing with it. And then we're going to slide that left foot back. Stepping back, we're going to go all the way to a low lunge from here. So take your right knee, bend it towards the middle two toes, hands find the floor, and we come on down. Low lunge with the knee off the floor in the back. Again, find that length on an inhale. And on an exhale, we're going to take the knee down, slide that right knee back, and then back to down dog. So that's a bit of a transition. Take your time. See if those hamstrings are a little more open this time. Slide forward into plank on an inhale. On an exhale, press back. One more time. Inhale towards plank. Hold those glutes steady so you can stabilize, and then exhale to down dog. This time we can walk the feet towards the hands as we find our way to the top of the mat again. Feet hip width apart. We're going to sit back in that imaginary chair and sweep those arms up again, and then down towards the floor. And if this is too much for you, you can just stand up. It's no problem. Well, let's see if we can power upward and outward, through chair to stand. Let's take ourselves to the right foot. So we're taking the right balance. The left foot, the left balance. Lift the right knee off the floor and find those hips steady. Open up to wingspan and then turn towards the right, helicopter. Come back. And point those right toes out, trace a line back to mountain. Now we come to the right leg and wingspan out, fly forward into that hinge toward warrior three. Whatever you're comfortable with, play with it. As you inhale, that sense of buoyancy in the back body really helps lighten things up. Come on back to mountain, transition the weight to the left. Now we're going to trace a line with our right foot back to the back of the mat, bend the left knee towards the middle two toes, and find our way down to a low lunge. Hands around the front foot. On your inhale and exhale. And then back knee finds the floor. Take puppy pose here or dog, whatever you're comfortable with. Customize for your body, keeping it gentle. Come forward into plank again. If you're from dog and you'd like some core work here, inhale into plank and down into dog, or simply stay in down dog, pumping the legs. Choices from our base. If you're doing the forward to plank, make sure to roll those shoulders away from the ears, keeping a form that's safe for your arms. Beautiful. Come forward. Allow the knees to drop to the mat. And big toes together, knees wide apart. And slide the hips back to the heels. If you'd like to roll on your back to be safe for the knees, that's fine too. Forehead down. Let's find that contemplative space, the third eye. Calm the mind. Calm the waves. Let's take the fingertips over towards the left and travel over towards the left, reaching long so we get a side bend on the right. Gaze under your left armpit for a slight twist here. And then walk it back to center over towards the right. Anchoring through the hips, and then we'll turn if you can turn under the right armpit, just a little bit of a twist here. And back to center. Child's pose. Curl up through cat. And since we only did one before, let's go into cow. Come back to neutral, go up to cat again. And exhale into cow. Come back to a neutral spine, and we're going to take it side to side. So side to side with the hips and the ear toward hip. Great. Come on to the sits bones as we float our baby boat. Sits bones are the anchor here in the middle of the mat. Take the hands to the thighs, sit up tall. And then find the anchor through the feet. So really spread the toes so they help us all along the way, all the way up the legs. Lean back and keep the crown of the head in line, back of the skull in line with the sacrum at the base of the spine. Elbows out to the side. And then come on back up, just so you can feel how that activates the core when you lean back and really press those low ribs in. If you want to release one hand and then the other, palm up towards the sky. So keeping it broad up on the collarbones, open up. Take the tilt that's comfortable for you, no strain in the low back, just an awareness of the core here. Take the hands back to the thighs. Lift one foot off the mat, then the other. Just hovering a little bit above the mat, or you can bring your shin parallel to the floor, and then the other. Or both. If you hold onto the thighs, that really helps. Just play with the options. A, B, C, or D. Go for it. Any strain, just come up a little closer, sit up a little higher. Great job. Now we're going to take the feet to the mat, hands behind us. Place the hands on the mat. Feel the elbows pointing behind you and just lift the heart up for a slight back bend, looking up at the sky. And then we're going to take the hands to the thighs and curl down towards the mat. Release the hands. See if you can find your way, slow motion down towards the base of the mat, towards the mat. And then be sure to support the back of the head as you come down. Find gravity in the back body. Open up, just release through a sigh. We are on the floor. So nice. Grab that strap and we're going to find that wider stretch, bend the knees, right knee towards the face. And we're going to take a little bit of that opener on the right. So take this ball, the strap to the right, ball the foot. Take the hand into the right hand, both sides of the strap, and then open up to the right. If you take the left knee out to the side with the side of the foot on the mat, you can provide some balance there. Inhale and exhale. And then take the left foot to the floor, knee to the sky, trace an arc. So we're going to trace that rainbow with our right foot all the way across the sky down to the other side. So we're going to find ourselves all the way to the left side, keeping that left knee bent. Right foot comes down on the floor. Gotta love my rainbows. So take your left hand, both sides of the strap here. You're on your side. The pelvis is perpendicular to the floor. And then we're going to bend the left knee so that that foot comes towards the back of the mat. Take the right hand to the heart. Another rainbow trace with our elbow across the sky to the other side, the right side. Gaze up at the sky for a moment, melting the back body. Inhale, press the left elbow into the floor and then lift your sternum up a little bit more into a twist. Just release, accept whatever your body is, whatever's available for you. You can gaze over your right fingertips. Some people like to find that left foot down there and get a quad stretch here. But again, customize. And then release the foot. If you have that, sweep that arc shape across the sky again. Right hand finds left. And we guide the leg back up towards the sky. And release the right leg. Make that, you can just take the right leg long for a moment, circle the ankle, and then bend that knee and inhale the left knee towards the face. Strap finds the bottom of the left foot, ball the foot. Great. Take the strap into the left hand and then move that arc shape out to the left. So we really open up that inner thigh. If you want to take the right knee out to this side, side of the foot comes to the mat. As we bring our mind's eye to that sacrum again at the base of the spine. Find your breath. Three-part breath, deep in the belly, chest, and shoulders. Guide that left foot over in its rainbow shape all the way over to the right side. As we come onto our sides, right foot finds the floor. And you can see here that the pelvis is perpendicular to the mat, so we're twisting with our ribs and upper back. Take the left hand to the heart and open up. Long left arm to the side. Bend the right knee. Look up at the sky. Press into the floor with your right elbow and release on an exhale. If you like that puzzle of finding your right foot, you can do that. Gaze over the left shoulder. And in all of this twisting, we can still find that center point We're wrapping ourselves around the very center of our torso. And releasing that foot if you have it, sweeping that left fingertips up towards the sky, hands meet. And then we help that left leg back up and gently release with the strap. We find that back of the skull on the mat and align it with the sacrum. Take the arms just next to the body, about 6 inches away, palms up towards the sky. Left leg long, right leg long. Let's squeeze all of the muscles in the body on an inhale. Just really tense things up, that any tension you might have had with 2022. And on exhale, we're going to just release and leave it all behind. Inhale. Exhale. Whew, release. Find your breath. Find that intention again. And now bring our attention to any places that might be holding in the body. Send breath that way. Send self-love, self-compassion. Oxygenation, space, comfort. See if that sense of warmth echoes to the mind. Moment of stillness, harmony, and peace. You can grow those moments from just one to many more as we move forward. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your elbows and your knees. Stretch as you need to. Roll onto the right side. Ease yourself up to a seated position. Let's find ourselves reaching up towards the sky, prayer position, tracing this beautiful line past our third eye, throat, down to the heart. Sharing this practice with you from all of our places all over. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me today. Happy New Year. Namaste.